Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday. We have some lengthy ass questions today, but that's what I like to see. I like to see that you guys are doing things. But in the meantime, tell me what are some wins, what are some lessons, what's going on so far this week? Brandon, I don't know if you ended up closing that deal in I think it was Nashville.
Yeah, yesterday.
Woo! So it officially closed?
That's done. That's done.
Congrats. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it was a 8-unit apartment building,
Mm-hmm.
$1.2 million contract. Yeah, buyer and he wants to do my next deal. He said he likes my urgency. So he said, I'm trying to spend another 2 million this month. And I was like, all right, well, let me see what I can feed you.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What I know, I remember, I think, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago that you were talking about, it being hard money. Were there any issues along the way with the title company or nothing?
No, I just put the title company in touch with the lenders like I think you
That's it.
recommended. And they cleared everything up, and then we were ready to go. I called them a couple days before closing. I said, "Are we good?" And they said, "Yep, just come on in."
Did they have to do any appraisals or anything like that?
He tried. Now this buyer gave me some pushback. He tried to act a little. So he was acting a little sketchy last second, and he thought he was going to get a, last minute walkthrough or an appraisal or something. I said, "Not happening, buddy. You're not calling me a couple days before. We're going in. We're closing." I said, "Are you closing? Are you committed or what?" And he
Yeah.
said, yeah, I have every intention to. I just, it's standard in every real estate deal that you get one final walkthrough. And I said, well, if you can find anything in my contract that even hints at that, I'll give you one. And
Yeah.
he didn't find anything. So
Yeah.
he showed up closing day. He was all smile face, and like nothing happened. So
Yeah. So sometimes buyers want to do a final walkthrough because it's very normal in like the retail side. But I don't see that happen too often. I mean, if it was going to be an issue with the seller, I would kind of give them pushback. But if there's no issue with the seller, I sometimes let them do a final walkthrough just for them to know that the closing date, that there's still a house, right? Because I mean, anything could happen between the time that you get that contract signed and the actual closing date. So they sometimes just like to double check. But yeah,
yeah,
congrats on that. That's freaking awesome.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I'm in.
Cool.
I'll take it.
So, yeah, no, for sure you'll take it, and you'll take many more, trust me. Cool. So we do have a good amount of questions, so I want to make sure that I can dive into that. Let me see. I see some comping questions, but okay. So Brandon, actually, this is your first question. How do you approach this Boeing 55 acres of land? A good portion of it is mountainside, great area. A developer would fit a couple hundred homes on it. What's available? Utilities are there, city water and electricity is available. Plus, it has a large concentration of high quality lumber. Good. I know I'm going to have to get creative on this one, so I'd like to get your approach. So when it comes down to deals like this, is this also in Nashville or is this in a different area?
Yeah, this is in West Nash.
Okay, cool. So one, are there large developers in that area? So are there developments, right? So like, for example, I mean, I don't know how much you could fit on 55 acres, probably, I mean, depending on the size of the house, minimum of like, 50 houses probably. So what you want to do is that you want to look at the area and see, are there large developments? And then what sometimes you can do is that you can research those developments and they'll literally have, hey, do you guys have submit land or whatever, because they're always looking for land. So look for development pockets, look for who the developer is. And if they have a website, sometimes they do, sometimes, I mean, most of the time they do. You can look up the website, and on that website, it's gonna show, hey, submit, land. Do you have anything? Or they're gonna show you their buying criteria sometimes. Even McDonald's, literally, if you go on the McDonald's page, they have like a buying criteria that you can submit deals to McDonald's. So, I mean, obviously that's a whole different conversation, but it's very similar, right? On their actual website, you can sometimes see their criteria. If you can't find it for some reason, what you want to do is that you want to just call their office if they have an office, or if it's a realtor. That's probably going to be your best bet. If not, look for, if you can't, for some reason, if they don't have a website, maybe it's a smaller development, reach out to the actual realtor, the realtor that sold, anything new construction within the past, let's say 2 years, and, ask them, hey, do you know anybody that would be interested in this land development? And I would offer them a portion of the fee, depending on whatever fee you're getting. So those are some basic ideas other than the typical, hey, pull the cash buyers, X, Y, and Z. You're probably going to be looking more for a developer versus, just a regular cash buyer. If you do find, in that area, cash buyers that bought land, that's also another option for you. But the best thing to do is look for the developers, look for development, the developers, and then check out their site and see if they have a buying criteria. Cool. So any questions on that? Or does that leave you a little bit with some clarity?
That's it.
Cool.
Hey, Ella, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
You're good.
I just finished my first closing today. And a big part of it is because of the knowledge that you provided to me on how to flip this property. So I literally just closed. I got the check right here.
Congrats. So, that was the deal. That was the property that you wanted. You were looking at it as a flip, right?
Yeah. And then you gave me the idea to pitch it as a buy and hold. So I ended up double closing on the property today. I literally just got out the building, and I'm actually on my way to go try to lock down another property as we speak.
Let's go, Steven.
Nice. That is amazing. Congratulations. What market is that in?
It's in Berks County in Pennsylvania. It's in
Pennsylvania.
Reading,
oh yes,
Reading,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that. Yep. Congrats. Yeah. That's super exciting. Oh God, I love hearing that stuff.
So I just wanted to hopefully come on here and help motivate others who haven't yet closed their first deal, that everything that Ella is telling you and the coaches are telling you, it really works. Just follow the guidance and implement the knowledge. Action over everything else. So Ella, thank you so much. You truly means the world to me. And thank you for helping to change lives. And you are a rock star, and I hope you know that.
Hey, I didn't do anything. You did it all. You actually you should talk about what it took you to get that deal. So how long were you in the group for? What did you do? How did you find the seller? And just brief us like 2 quick minutes on what you did.
So basically just following the strategies that the coaches provided. Looking at what areas were hot based on the cash buyer transactions. And then at that point, pulling the absentee owner marketing list and just cold calling. For this property, I ended up contacting a real estate agent. He's based out of New York, and he had this property that he's been trying to offload. He was in the middle of gutting the property, renovating the property, and he just basically admitted that he neglected the renovation. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know that until I ended up visiting the property, because he kind of described it as in fair condition. So when I actually visited the property in person, it was completely gutted. And so my analysis was a little thrown off a little bit, because obviously I was accounting the repairs as if it was in fair condition and not needing a full renovation. So I got on a call with Ella, and I basically explained to her the situation, like, hey, I have this property. It's in worse condition than was described. I don't know how to, pitch the property if I get it on the contract. And Ella was like, well, what's the rent look like in the market? Maybe you should, pitch it as a buy and hold if the rent is good in the market. I did the research. The rent was pretty good. And then I ended up, finding a cash buyer who wanted the property, and, ended up closing the deal.
Boom. And it's just that simple sometimes, right? Because sometimes we think that like we might not have a deal, right? Like what Aaron and Noel were talking about, right? You guys wanted to renegotiate with the seller too, I think, right?
I tried to renegotiate with the seller, and the seller was like, nope, I want 90K. And I was like, oh man. I was like, all right, it is what it is. And then the seller threw in another like wrench in the deal, because the seller was like, because he's a real estate agent. So he was like, I want you to do the inspection before I sign the contract. And I'm like, shit. So I ended up reaching, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get out that one. So I ended up reaching out to Sharon, and Sharon's like, yeah, I don't know. I think that deal's pretty much over with, because I don't know how you're gonna get around that. So I was like, listen, Sharon, it is what it is. I'm gonna get back on the phones. I'm gonna be, continue cold calling. I'm not gonna let it get to me. On to the next deal. Literally that same day when I got back on the phones, like my third call, I was actually just reaching out to, to a property owner, thinking like, hey, I'm gonna try to see if the seller's interested in selling this property. Lord and behold, it
There's a
was the
buyer.
cash buyer for my deal. He was like, listen, he's like, I don't, he's like, I don't, like, I'm not selling that property. I'm an investor myself. Do you have a property in this area? And it was that same property that I was in negotiations with. And I was like, actually, I do have something for you. So I called the seller up and I'm like, hey, listen, actually, I'll abide by your terms. I'll do the inspection. I'll do the inspection before we sign the contract. I brought the cash buyer with me. We inspected the property. The cash buyer was like, yeah, I'm good. Let's lock up the deal, and the rest is history. So
that's hustle right there.
Yeah, and I ended up double closing on the deal because I kind of felt like the vibe that the seller was giving me, because he's a real estate agent as well. Mm-hmm. So I kind of felt like he was giving me like anti-wholesaler vibes, and I was like, all right, look, I'm not even gonna do any assignment with you. I'm just gonna double close on you, and you ain't even gonna know. So yep. So literally, and I'm here at the title company right now, and I told the title company, I'm like, listen, we're gonna schedule the first closing for 11 a.m. We're gonna schedule the second closing for 12 p.m. I gotta make sure my buyer and seller don't see each other, because they don't, like, the seller doesn't know that I'm double closing. So it was like some Mission Impossible shit going on like a few minutes ago, but we ended up pulling it off. So I just wanted, to come on the call and just basically just try to motivate everyone else, and just reaffirm that what you ladies, as coaches are telling us, it truly does work. And to just listen to the guidance and just follow the instructions, and you're going to definitely see success.
Yeah, super. I love that story, because it's like super. I mean, you can't walk somebody through that process. You can't say, hey, cold call for a seller and you're going to find a buyer. But things happen, right? Like, for example, we have a seller that we're working with, and he said, well, listen, I don't want to sell you the house, but I have all this Bitcoin that I accidentally bought when I was in college, and you guys are an investment company. Can you guys, can I lend it to you guys? Can we figure out what to do? And we're like, of course you can. It was like, it's like 120 grand that he's literally transfer, like he's changing from Bitcoin to cash to lend to us, because he's like, I don't know about this Bitcoin thing. But and what's great is that you guys want to, every time that you get on the phones, you want to look for opportunity. Don't be so narrow-minded that you have to find a seller, you have to find a buyer, because you could find, your next partner, you could find your next investor, you could find a next seller, you could find so many different people, as long as you're on the phone and you're talking to people. As long as you're talking to people, you're gonna build relationships, right? That's the biggest thing. And to this day, I love getting on the phones and just talking to people. And trust me, you're gonna be able, if you can figure out this business, you can make wonders happen. So super happy. Steven, how long have you been with us in the group?
Since I think I started my mentorship in March-ish, like the end of March. I'm pretty sure March. Nice. Yeah. So to your point, it's really about just taking massive action, because like for me, I could have felt like I could have closed my first deal much sooner if I would have devoted more time into the business, because I have other businesses as well. So now that I'm focusing my attention on building this business up, now I'm starting to see the efforts, the fruits of my labor, based on the effort that I'm putting into the business. And you said it, you nailed it right in the head when you said it's really just a numbers game. And the more touch points you have, for your business, the more people you're talking to, the more opportunities you're going to have. You just got to talk to people, and that's this business is. It's a people business. So Ella, thank you so much. I don't want to take away everyone else's time for, that may have some questions for you, and because they may get a gold nugget I received from you, and I don't want to, you know, be a block.
You're
of that,
good.
so.
Listen, conversations are always gold nuggets. So I'm sure somebody here probably got some motivation. They probably like, oh, I didn't think about getting a buyer from a seller's list. So all this stuff is good. As long as you guys are putting yourself out there, this is considered networking. So education / networking / inspiration / everything. So thank you for sharing that, Stephen.
You're welcome, Ella. Thank you. And to anyone who's a father on the call, happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. You know, if you have any kids, let this be an inspiration to go out and get it, to
make it happen.
Make it happen, be something better, you know, build generational wealth. You know, if, you know, financial freedom is your goal, chase it, you know, build something for you and your family. And that's pretty much it. So have a wonderful weekend, Ella. Thank you so much. You're amazing. I can't say thank you enough. Thank you.
Thank you for taking action. I love that. This is why I like to get on these calls, because I love to hear, you know, people changing, you know, what their situation is, and, you know, what's been going on, and so forth. So I'm super happy about that. We had 2 closings this week then, Brandon and Steven. So
yeah, I feel a lot
Brandon,
better about how mine went after hearing Steven's story.
Hey, Brandon. Oh,
mine didn't go that bad, I guess.
I see. Hey, Brandon. I see your hustle. Bro. It's motivating. So, you know, keep motivating.
I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, I'm like this all the time.
I love it. I love that energy. I love it.
And Ella?
Yes.
Hey, Ella.
Hey, Audrey. What's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. I first want to congratulate Brandon and Steven on closing their deals. And I also closed my deal today.
No way. Tell us, well, you've been so quiet in the background the last 2-3 weeks. You've been working hard.
Yes, yeah.
Come on.
Congrats.
Thank you so much. And you know, I again, I don't want to take up a lot of time either, but Stephen, that was so great. And I'm just coming into the call too. So things that may have you may have said, I kind of missed. If you may have said something, Brandon. But I wanted to kind of go back to what Stephen was saying, how he is encouraging everyone. I just wanted to say this. I started, you made mention of, you asked Stephen, when did he start? He said he started in March. Ella, I can't see you. Where are you? I'm
up here somewhere.
Okay.
You might have to scroll if you're on your phone.
Yeah, because I'm on the phone, and anyway. So I just wanted to say this. I started in July of last year.
Tell us about that journey.
Okay. And it was a journey, and I hope that this will help someone. Okay. I wanted to start real estate a long time ago, 20 plus years ago. Okay. Life happened. All right. Life was still happening when this opportunity took place. Okay. And sometimes you can't wait for everything to be perfect to move. Okay. So I jumped in and I moved. I was not ready in any kind of way. I was mentally, emotionally, financially, all of those things broken. Okay. Coming out of a domestic, I don't want to, anyway, I'm just going to be transparent because again, this may help someone. Coming out of a domestic situation, just everything was just, I mean, if anyone knows anything about that, just a hard situation to be in. Okay. So now I'm in the process of rebuilding myself, ridding myself of negative emotions, ridding myself of negative subconscious things, all of this stuff. Okay. That I had to deal with, but I had a dream. Okay. And I said that, this is the time for my dream. COVID was perfect. I lost my job, decreased, hours and things like that. Some money was an issue. So, out of all of that, that was an opportunity for me to move. Although the circumstances look crazy, that was an opportunity for me to move. Now, in that process of me moving, I could not take on everything at one time because I'm still trying to build me up. Okay. So I had to take it on one at a time, one thing at a time, trying to get the systems down, the call tools and all of that stuff. It took so much out of me, Ella, to do that. And it kept crashing. It would go up, it'll crash, it'll go up, it'll crash. So many different obstacles throughout the process. I would start cold calling after like a month of trying to get the call choose stuff together. And then the cold calling was an issue. It was a lot of issues that I was presented with, but I kept moving. So step by step, each day I did something to put into this business. You understand what I'm saying? And I had to do it that way, because in my mind, I couldn't take on everything like everybody else. It was too overwhelming. But step by step, getting the systems caught up, making a few calls a day to more calls a day. Sometimes I would stop. I wasn't consistent, again, because I'm trying to build myself up and try to build the business at the same time. But I kept moving, Ella. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. You know, that's my encouragement for people. Whatever is blocking you, whatever is standing in your way, whatever the obstacle is, just keep moving. It's one step at a time. If you just get up one day and just look at a script before you even think about doing the script. I had to actually turn my living room around to make it look like an office to motivate me. I mean, it was just so many different things and so many different fears that would come up, so many different inner things that was coming in my mind, you know, that I had to come against. So I'm just saying this to whoever is on this call, don't give up. If you have a dream to do this, keep moving. Keep moving. If you just got to take 20 minutes, 30 minutes out of the day to make, you know, to get this business down, do that. Listen to the calls, listen to the previous calls, whatever it is that you need to do, just keep moving, y'all. Just keep moving. And you will eventually get here. You will eventually get to that place where you can say, as we have said, and I'm gonna tell you, this thing here, having that, I don't have the check, they wired the funds to me. I can't even begin to even explain to you how it's almost surreal, because it's like you can see it. You know, first of all, you got to see it to believe it. So I saw it a long time ago, but to actually hear it and to see, like you gonna say, that reality check. Man, this thing is real, and the information that they're providing is real, and it's excellent information. The support is just off the charts, off the chain. To everyone here, just please keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Whatever obstacle, whatever shutdown, just keep going. Don't quit. You will receive it at the end of the day.
Ooh.
Thank you. I
welcome.
needed that for real. Like,
Well,
I love
I've been
it.
in
Love
my
it.
head a whole lot, and I needed that testimony for real.
Okay.
Audrey, I got a little theme song for you here. Just play this one. Time to boss up.
There you go.
Girl, get at it. Get your bag up.
That's it, Brent.
That's it.
Love
Start every
it.
day like that.
Yes.
Boss up, baby.
Oh,
Audrey,
yes.
you're doing amazing.
I want to
You're
thank
doing
you too.
amazing.
I just want to thank you all, but you know, your part that you played in it, all of that, being able to reach out to you and just check, Ella, am I doing right? I mean, just all of that.
Yeah.
Y'all can't, man, keep going. And I thank you guys so much. I thank you guys so much, real advisors, and Brandon and Steven. I mean, just, you know, and everyone here that just provides some type of information to show that action is taking place, that this thing is real. And if you take that same action, this thing can happen for you. I just, you know, I just wanted to put that out there, man.
What I always say is it's 1% every single. If you do 1% more than yesterday, you're gonna get there. It's a proven business. Literally a proven business.
It is. It really is.
3 people on the call. 3 people on the call. Today, 2 people closed their first deal. 2 people. Brandon, when was yours? 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I think I remember the 15th, wasn't it?
Mine was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Look, in 3 people, there's about 30 people on this call. That's
wait a second.
10%.
It's day before yesterday, but I picked the check up yesterday.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are good problems. But yes, guys, literally 3 people out of 30 people on the call right now. That's 10%. 10%, right? And it doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen overnight. And Audrey, I think that what you said was beautiful, because you said I was not mentally prepared. Most of us aren't. We don't understand what it takes, right? And a lot of the times, right, I'm here to give you guys, little tactics, but most of the solution is within you guys, right? It's, are you mentally able to figure certain things out? Are you mentally able to pick up the phone? Are you mentally able to, do whatever it takes? Because it does require a mental bridge to cross.
Absolutely.
It doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't.
Absolutely.
Some people get lucky. I'm not gonna lie. Some people do get lucky, and I've seen that. I've seen it many times. But guess what? That luck sometimes gets to them, and they don't realize that that second deal is gonna be a lot harder. But you guys are doing great. Today's call was just great. I mean, I loved everybody's little closing. Audrey, tell us about that closing, though. Tell us.
Oh gosh, just the Ella look. It was so many different things that happened with that, but it's a couple of little things that I just wanted to say. When I did the contract wrong.
It's a learning lesson. It's not easy.
So it took it took almost a month. A month would be Monday. Closed out today, and so everything was, everything worked. And I'm not, I'm a God kind of girl, so I just give all the praise and all of the glory to God.
Congratulations, Audrey.
Sharon, where are you coming from?
Congratulations. I heard Audrey close her deal, so I had to get out here and say congrats to her.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. You guys are great. Oh my goodness. You guys are great.
This call's been great.
So, I didn't mean to jump in again. I didn't mean to take up all of the time either.
No, you're good. You're good.
But I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you so much. And just to give you guys that extra, to let you know what you're doing is working.
It's working.
It's working. It's working. And I just thank you guys once again.
Thank you for sharing. And Audrey, I'm waiting for your next one. I'll be here for your next one.
Oh, and that was the last thing that I wanted to say. That same seller, he said, Audrey
has another one.
You sell homes, right? And look, it's like, hello, that's what you do. Yeah, that's what I do. Mr. Zito. He said, well, I think I got another one for you. I think I'm going to sell the one that I'm in right now. He said, I'm gonna get back with you on that one. I'm gonna get back with you real soon. I just gotta put some things in order. Just like he said for this one. He's saying the same thing. I mean, just like he said for the one that was just closed. I'm gonna get back with you and put some things in order. He said the same thing for this one. So I'm just praying that come through too.
Look at
Audrey
that.
You closed today too, Audrey?
Yeah, I closed today, Sharon. I closed today.
So excited.
I know. Sharon, we have 3 closings in this call right now.
I already know. I've been crying all week. I already know. I cried yesterday. I cried today. And then they told me Audrey had one, so I'm trying not to cry again. And then I know Eric about to get one, so I'm trying not to cry about that. Marcus got one, and Samantha about to get 2. I'm like, oh God.
We got deals.
I just thank you guys so much. I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. And just to everybody else, just keep going. Keep going, no matter what, and you'll get there. You will get there.
You will. Trust me. It's a consistency game. That's all it really is.
It is. And when I just want to say this little last part. When you say consistent, don't let that trick you. Don't let your mind trick you that, consistent. I'm not on the phone every day. When the way that I say it for myself, consistent, doing something consistent toward making your business, you understand what I'm saying? To making your business grow. If it has to do, if you have to read a book, get on your Audible and get a book and read your book. Like I say, go over the script, do whatever is necessary. Make sure that you're doing something every day to build, so you can get to the point that you can be consistent to make your calls every day or whatever it is to make that money, to move forward in generating that income. But it has to start somewhere. So be consistent with something every day until you can get to the point where you are on the calls and generating that income.
You better preach, Audrey. Preach it.
I'm just saying.
No, she's on that closing vibe right now.
I'm just,
that feeling that you get.
Yeah, I just
love
thank
it.
everybody. I really do. And I'm whoever that I touched today, I just I praise God for that. Just keep moving, y'all. Just keep moving.
Keep going, guys. Trust me.
Yep.
I want to
All
hear
right.
everybody else that's coming next. All right. Audrey's right
Yes.
now, Brandon today, Steven today. Who's it gonna be next week, right? I feel like Aaron and Noel are gonna be next. I hear it coming. But so before we end, I know it's 2:07. We do have one last question that I want to make sure that I cover. If the buyer is using a realtor, how do you find him and approach him or her? Dory, if they're using a realtor, if the buyer is using a realtor, the same way that you would speak to the buyer, nothing
It's
different.
the seller.
The seller.
Yeah.
So if the seller is using a realtor,
Yeah. How do I find the seller, the realtor, or contact them?
Is it listed already with a on the MLS?
Well, I did some cold calling today, and the owner's brother, I got his number for some reason, not her number. And he told me that they have a realtor and they're trying to sell a house right now. So I want to get in contact with the realtor, and I was wondering, how do I find their information? Like,
is
when
it listed or no?
I checked, I saw it on realtors, I think, but when I tried to look for it on the Real Elite, it didn't find their information.
Cool. So it's probably not listed yet. If you just Google it, and you could check on Zillow or realtor.com, it's probably not listed yet. What you want to do is get back with the seller and say, hey, I wasn't able to find the listing online. Can you share with me, the realtor? Maybe they haven't listed it yet. And maybe that's how you get in, right? And if they haven't listed it yet, don't even reach out to the realtor. Say, hey, we actually work directly with sellers. Before you list it, maybe we can agree on something. Is that something that you would be open to?
Okay, awesome. But the problem is, I don't have the number of the seller. Like, someone else, a family member, someone answered the phone, not the actual person. He was like, yeah, Brittany she's living in an apartment and I'm in New York. So they were like in two different schedules or whatever.
That's going to be hurdle number one. You have to speak directly to the seller.
Yeah.
That's a must. Yeah. That's a must.
How do I get their information if it was a wrong?
If you can get the brother to give you the number, that's great. If you don't, you got to skip trace again and try to find another number.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just wanted to get that last. I know I saw you, Dorit, put that question in like the last minute. I just wanted to make sure I got that one in there. Cool, guys. So that's all the questions that we have. Today was an amazing call. I hope that Steven, Brandon, and Audrey's closings this week inspires you guys to keep going, because it's there, right? It's proven. You guys can make it happen. You guys are literally this close from being the next person, and I want to hear it. And I want to make sure Sharon gets on these calls more often too, not just when there's closings. But that's it, guys. So
Ella,
that's all we have.
Just kidding.
I'm just kidding. I'll take this one for you. But all right, guys. So that's all we have. Have an amazing weekend, guys. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, Demoy, and everybody else on the call. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy it. Have an amazing weekend, guys. Keep going, keep pushing. I want to hear more closings. I want to hear you guys coming next. And take care. Peace.